Well, thank you for watching our podcast again this week. Let me bring you up to date on two issues we've been working on extensively in our Energy Committee this week. One is, of course, to try to move ahead with energy legislation. We have legislation to respond to the spill in the Gulf of Mexico last year, the Deepwater Horizon disaster, and we believe that's important legislation to finally get passed and sent to the President. I hope we can do that. We had a hearing on it, which was a good hearing. Also, we're looking at a bill that would specify a little more what the plans would be for the next decade or so as far as offshore drilling by the administration. Clearly, we depend heavily on offshore drilling today. About a third of the energy that we produce in this country comes from that source, and we need to be sure it's done safely and in the appropriate places. So those are two subjects we looked at. We also had a very good hearing on electric vehicles, and that's a subject that I think has great promise for us in reducing our need for oil. Imported oil, of course, but oil in general. I think as long as we are tied to the price of oil, we're going to see significant volatility both in our economy, but also in the budgets of average families trying to pay the cost of filling their gas tank. Another area we worked on is public land legislation. I introduced again the Oregon Mountain legislation, Dona wilderness legislation. I think that's important legislation for us to try to pass in this Congress. I hope we're able to do that. There are some beautiful parts of southern New Mexico that would be preserved through that legislation. I hope we can do it. We also have had hearings this week on some other bills. One is the Ute Mountain legislation in northern New Mexico, again to ensure the preservation of that part of our state. And I hope we can succeed with that as well. So there's a lot we're trying to move forward with. It's not clear how much success we'll have in getting it clear through the process, but we are doing all we can to move the legislation through committee to the Senate floor for consideration this summer. Again, thanks for watching.